Vice Mayor, would you like to start?
Actually, I will, Madam Mayor, I was going to forego my comments and mention Mr. Addison's passing. I did have an opportunity to speak with his wife and Kevin earlier, and it seems that there'll be a service sometime, I believe, in December. They're waiting for family members to come in around the country, so DPS will be coming. They'll let us know as soon as they have more information, specifics or whatever. But he would have been, I guess the 22nd would have been his 80th birthday this month. So I thank you, Madam Mayor, for recognizing Mr. Addison. That's all I have.
Thank you. Commissioner McBoyd?
Yeah, just briefly, several of us attended the Florida League of Cities conference in Orlando the end of this past week, and just a couple of things from that. Comcast made us aware of something that I didn't know about, that they do a program for very low-cost internet for children who are on free lunch program, or seniors. I don't know exactly what the criteria is, but it seems like something that we should let people know about in the city. So if you know of people in need, they seem to be encouraging that, and $10 a month sounds pretty good. Learned some things about changes in the recent legislative session on police and firefighter pensions, which I left with my head hurting, but I learned a little bit and knew where to ask if I have further questions. Also an interesting presentation on what somebody called the sharing economy. I wasn't sure exactly what that meant, but what they were referring to was things that seemed to interest a lot of, I guess I can now say, younger folk, millennials. We had a presentation on that too. But things like ride sharing, Uber, Lyft, and also house sharing like Airbnb and the older version, Vacation Rental, VRBO, and how that's shifting, and quite interesting discussions of some of the concerns from a city level, as well as some of the potential benefits, and kind of a heads up that I think the presentation was from somebody from the National League of Cities, who basically said, this stuff is coming, you can find a good way to embrace it and make it work for your city, or let it go by you at your risk. Very interesting presentation that I suspect will be available online, because it was videotaped by a young woman who has done research for a while on generational differences. Traditionalists, which I almost am, baby boomers, Generation X, millennials, I might have missed one, and very interesting observations from her research of differences, what they're looking for, and how that has some implications for how cities can reach out to people. It's also, I often find it helpful to talk to the vendors. I just learned more things, and I was particularly happy to talk to the vendors that provide our registry of vacant and abandoned properties, and learn some things out of that I think will help move that along a bit, which helps our public safety. So overall, I was glad I went.
Good. Commissioner Larson?
I too went to the Florida League of Cities, and just to back up Commissioner McBoyd and to continue on, all these seminars we attend will be online as early as Wednesday, so you'll be able to also look at exactly what we were looking at. It's always great to go to these things. We bring back a lot of information. One thing that Commissioner McBoyd mentioned was the Comcast programs. For over 2 years, we've been implementing the Comcast program in the city of Lake Worth, with Bridges of Lake Worth and with local municipalities around us, partnering with them to bring internet to low-income children. This year, Comcast is starting a new pilot in Palm Beach County to reach out to the elder. Same kind of program. I've already reached out to the towers, and they're on board. So Comcast will use Palm Beach County and Lake Worth as a starting point to implement their program. Broward and Fort Lauderdale were all excited, and they're like, what about us, what about us? And Comcast said, we're going to start in Palm Beach County. Lake Worth is a good place to start, so we're very excited about that. And it's the same kind of program that we're doing for the low to moderate income children, but for elders to really reach out to their families via internet and computers. And one thing that we discussed was starting from Computer 101, because a lot of older, more mature people aren't familiar with computers. They don't even know how to turn them on. So Comcast is aware of that, so it'll be a little bit longer process than it was with the children, because the children already they knew more than Comcast. So it was quite interesting dealing with the children. So it'll be a great starting point here in Lakewood. Also, I attended the Intermax back to school program. Intermax is here on our west side, and we did a outreach for the low to moderate income children, and we gave away 400 book bags for back to school. So that was a great program. Thank you.
I still have to fax my dad his emails. Commissioner Warren.
Thank you. The Treasure Coast Regional Planning Council has canceled their August meeting, so they will resume in September. Tomorrow, the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation is holding a workshop for elected officials regarding gopher tortoises and their management. As we move into the development of the Park of Commerce, that is very likely territory where gopher tortoises are present. The Fish and Wildlife Conservation has a regulation that any municipality doing development in areas where gopher tortoises potentially exist need to do surveys of those areas. This workshop is to learn about funding that is available to pay for those surveys. So as we go forward, I would like to first protect our gopher tortoises and at the same time try to get that service done for free. So that's what I'm going to work on. And today I met with Jack, our new electric utilities director. I know in the very near future we're going to have some big decisions to make about our electric utility, and I'm trying as fast as I can to gather as much information as possible so that I can make a good decision there. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. My husband managed to get me away out of Lake Worth for a couple of days on a vacation, which is the first time in a couple of years, so I've been out of town for a couple of days, and I saw some beautiful sea turtles while I was gone, just up the coast. So this week I have the MPO meeting coming up on Thursday. I gave you an update last week, or last regular commission meeting, that we got on that short range list for Boutwell Road, so we're on the 5-year plan for Boutwell, and awaiting hopefully some other future good news, city manager, right, in the form of an EDA grant.
$1.4 million, keep your fingers crossed.
Keep your fingers crossed.
Yes.
Yeah, we were so hopeful the last time around, so we were like afraid to say anything and knocking every piece of wood around here to make sure that we're still good. And if you noticed up front too, there'll be some renovations right in front of City Hall. Do you notice the patio a little bit larger out front there? The Peace Pole is coming in. A beautiful project that's going to be coming in. It'll have some beautiful messaging. It came before our commission a while back, and it'll have some beautiful messaging in English, and Spanish, and Creole, and Finnish, and it's going to be a wonderful addition to up front, a place for our gatherings. And I'll keep it short and sweet. Moving on, public participation.